The rain begins as a fine mist, weaving itself through the narrow alleys of Kyoto like soft threads of silk. It patters gently on the cobbled street, tapping a slow rhythm against old tiled rooftops and swaying paper lanterns. You follow the sound, your footsteps quiet against the wet stone, as if the entire world has decided to move more slowly tonight. The air carries the scent of wet bamboo and ancient cedar, mingling with the faint perfume of night-blooming jasmine that spills over garden walls. Each breath draws in the coolness of the evening, washing away the day's concerns with the gentle persistence of the rain. A dim glow ahead draws your attention. A wooden sign, painted with brushstrokes that have faded with time, swings slightly in the breeze. The characters speak of rest and coziness, of tea and quiet moments. The door beneath it stands half open, the heat inside curling out in a welcoming hush of light and scent. You step over the threshold into the café, leaving the gentle night behind. It is a small space, tucked between the walls of old townhouses, its windows misted with condensation and the breath of the rain outside. Candlelight flickers across polished wooden tables, their edges worn smooth with years of quiet company. The grain of the wood tells stories of countless evenings like this one, of solitary visitors seeking refuge from the world's demands. The air is thick with the comforting aroma of roasted tea leaves and the lingering scent of traditional sweets cooling on wooden trays. Somewhere behind the counter, a record player hums into life, and soft jazz threads its way into the space like smoke from incense. The music is gentle and consistent, a steady stream of mellow notes that blend seamlessly with the evening's rhythm. You take a seat by the fogged-up window, your back warmed by a wall of dark, aged wood. The cushion beneath you yields softly, filled with buckwheat hulls that rustle gently as you settle. You let your hands rest in your lap, fingers uncurling like flowers at dusk. Outside, the rain picks up slightly, drumming against the eaves, spilling down the gutter in thin rivulets that catch the light from distant street lamps. The jazz flows quietly with the rain, each note a gentle push against the hush. The music maintains its soft, dreamy quality, weaving through the sound of water, creating a lullaby that speaks directly to your soul. The barista moves slowly behind the counter, a figure wrapped in stillness. There is no rush here, no urgency to disturb the evening's peace. Each movement is deliberate, part of a silent ritual passed down through generations. A kettle steams on a small stove, the rising plume of vapor curling into the candlelit air like the breath of sleeping dragons. You turn your gaze outward. The alley is now washed in silver light, reflections dancing in puddles that mirror the star-scattered sky above. The shapes of old wooden shutters and sloped roofs stretch like shadows in a dream, their edges softened by the mist. Across the way, a red paper lantern sways, its color made rich by the wetness clinging to its skin, glowing like a ruby held to candlelight. A cat appears at the edge of your vision, stepping delicately through the rain-slicked stones. It pauses beneath the eaves across the alley, shaking droplets from its paws with the patience of one who knows that all storms pass. You watch as it finds a dry spot beneath a wooden cart laden with covered vegetables, settling into a perfect circle of contentment. Inside, The cafe feels untouched by time. A narrow shelf of books lines one wall, their spines faded, and titles written in looping kanji that seem to dance in the flickering light. A single dried hydrangea sits in a ceramic vase at the end of your table, its petals a pale blue that almost seems to glow, preserved in eternal autumn. The barista approaches with quiet reverence, placing before you a ceramic cup the color of storm clouds. The tea within is dark and mysterious, its surface reflecting the dancing candle flames like a mirror to another world. You wrap your fingers around the cup, feeling the welcoming heat seep into your skin, traveling up your arms and settling in your chest like a gentle sunrise. The first sip is deep and earthy, with notes of roasted rice and chrysanthemum or lotus root. It settles in your chest like a quiet hum, anchoring you to this moment, this breath, this perfect stillness. The tea carries the essence of mountains and morning mist, of careful cultivation and patient brewing. You listen. The rain continues its gentle percussion, sometimes soft as whispers, other times with the fuller voice of approaching clouds. The jazz continues its steady flow, maintaining its dreamy quality that seems perfectly matched to this quiet evening. The quiet movement behind the counter becomes part of the symphony. The soft clatter of teacups return to their shelves, the gentle rustle of cloth, the whispered footsteps of someone who understands the sacred nature of silence. Everything breathes in unison, a slow, deliberate rhythm that invites no intrusion. The very walls seem to expand and contract with the music, holding you in their embrace. Candles gutter slightly in their holders, casting fleeting shadows on the table that dance like memories across the wooden surface. You watch the wax pool and harden, its edges folding like silk, each drop a tiny universe of light and heat. Time softens around you, losing its sharp edges, becoming more fluid, more forgiving. The world beyond the window is no longer a place you need to be. It exists in soft focus, important but distant, like a dream half remembered upon waking. Here, in this pocket of snugness and light, you have found more essential than any destination. The soft jazz continues its gentle presence, flowing through the cafe like a quiet river. The music maintains its soothing quality, never demanding attention, but always there, a constant companion to the evening's meditation. You close your eyes, not to sleep, but to listen more closely. With your eyes closed, everything becomes clearer, more immediate. The music flows through you like water through cupped hands. The rain becomes a conversation between earth and sky, and the heat of the tea in your hands transforms into pure presence. In this darkness behind your eyelids, colors bloom, soft purples and deep blues, the warm amber of candlelight, the silver of rain-washed streets. They pulse gently with the music, creating a private aurora that dances only for you. You drift in thought, but the thoughts are not sharp or demanding. They arrive like the soft bloom of ink on paper, slow and without edges, each one dissolving into the next like sugar in warm water. A memory surfaces of another rainy night, another quiet space, another cup of tea, warm between your palms. The memory does not demand attention or analysis. It simply shares the space with you, a gentle companion in the candlelit darkness. When you open your eyes again, the window is more clouded than before. The condensation has traced rivers along the glass, catching candlelight and bending it into abstract art. The patterns shift and change, creating momentary landscapes of light and shadow that exist for only seconds before transforming into something entirely new. The tea grows cooler in your hands, but not cold. It remains a presence, a gentle weight that grounds you in the physical world even as your spirit floats free. You take another sip, noting how the flavor has mellowed, softened by time and patience, like the cafe itself, like the evening, like the very act of being present. The barista lights another candle as one gutters and dies, the flame catching quickly, eager to join the dance of light and shadow. The new flame casts fresh patterns on the ceiling, creating a slowly shifting mandala of illumination that speaks of impermanence and renewal. You notice the way the light catches the grain of the wooden walls, how each plank tells its own story of growth and seasons, of rain and sun, of careful craftsmanship and patient aging. The cafe has become a living entity, breathing with the night, dreaming with the rain. The world here asks nothing of you. You are allowed to simply be, to exist without purpose or destination, to breathe without counting breaths, to think without solving problems. This is a space outside the ordinary flow of time, a haven where the only requirement is presence. Jazz and rain, candlelight and quiet. Each element balances the other, creating a stillness that deepens with every breath. The music becomes the rain becomes your heartbeat. Your heartbeat becomes the gentle rhythm of the night itself. You do not need to speak, to move, to do anything beyond simply receiving this gift of perfect peace. Everything necessary is already here. The coziness of the tea, the softness of the chair, the gentle company of shadows and light, the endless patience of the rain. You have become part of the cafe's evening meditation, a note in its ongoing song of peacefulness. You lean your forehead lightly against the cool window pane, your breath fogging a fresh patch of glass. The coolness is a gentle contrast to the heat that surrounds you, a reminder of the larger world beyond, while anchoring you firmly in this moment. Beyond the window, the alley continues its slow shimmer, water creating temporary mirrors that reflect the red lantern's steady glow. The lantern across the way still sways, its paper skin translucent in the rain, revealing the delicate bamboo framework within. It casts a gentle red glow that mingles with the silver light of the rain, creating a palette of colors that seems to have been painted by the night itself. Inside, the record plays on, the jazz flowing continuously like a gentle stream that never changes course. The barista continues their slow rhythm, a guardian of the peace, ensuring that the cafe remains undisturbed. The candles continue to glow, their flames steady and sure, marking time not with urgency, but with gentle persistence. And you, the last guest, remain. Present in a way that transcends the usual boundaries of awareness, resting in a state that requires no effort, dreaming without the need for sleep. You have found the space between waking and sleeping, between self and world, between time and timelessness. The rain does not stop, but it does not need to. It has become part of the eternal rhythm of the night, as essential as breathing, as natural as the beating of your heart. Each drop carries with it the blessing of the sky, the gift of cleansing, the promise of renewal. You close your eyes again, and the music slows even further, the notes dissolving into the space like mist rising from warm earth. Your breathing matches its tempo, soft and softer still, each exhalation releasing whatever you no longer need, each inhalation drawing in the pure essence of the moment. Time slides away like water off bamboo leaves, taking with it the concerns and expectations of the day. What remains is simple: breath, heartbeat, the gentle presence of being alive in this perfect moment of stillness. The cafe holds you gently, like a mother holds a sleeping child. The walls breathe with your breath, the shadows dance with your dreams, the candles burn with the light of your awareness. You have become part of the cafe's evening prayer, a note in its ongoing song of peace. And the night unfolds, petal by petal, like a lotus opening in the darkness. Each moment reveals new depths of quietude, new dimensions of rest, new ways of simply being present to the gift of existence. The coziness from the tea lingers, now joined by the faint sweet scent rising from behind the counter. The barista moves with practiced grace, perhaps preparing a late-night treat for the few guests who understand the sacred nature of these quiet hours. You draw your shawl tighter, feeling the soft wool against your skin like a second skin of comfort and protection. Your thoughts begin to fade like steam rising toward the ceiling, each one dissolving into the larger consciousness of the night. The sound of the rain has settled into a steady rhythm, a heartbeat of the earth itself, blending seamlessly with the continuous jazz that flows through the space. The music maintains its gentle presence, its notes soft and golden, falling slowly like droplets of honey against glass. The jazz speaks in a voice deeper than words, older than language, touching something primordial in your chest that recognizes the eternal rhythm of creation itself. A gust of wind sighs down the alley, carrying with it the sense of distant gardens and wet stone. It brushes the window beside you with a fresh layer of mist, creating new patterns of light and shadow, new opportunities for beauty to reveal itself in the most transient of forms. You do not wish to speak or even think in the usual way. The mental chatter that usually fills your awareness has quieted to a gentle murmur, then to a whisper, then to a whisper even softer than silence. Just breathe. Just listen. Just be present to this perfect moment of being alive. Outside, the rain begins to fall in larger drops, the rhythm deeper now, more grounding. Each drop seems to carry with it the accumulated moisture of clouds that have traveled across continents, over mountains and seas, gathering the essence of the earth's vast breathing before offering it back to the soil of this ancient city. The alley seems to narrow even more with the rising mist, like the world is folding inward, creating a quiet pocket just for you. The boundaries between inside and outside become less defined, as if the cafe and the night are breathing together, sharing the same gentle rhythm of existence. You do not move to rise. There is no expectation, no schedule to keep, no place you need to be. You are simply allowed to remain, to exist in this space between moments, this place that the night has prepared especially for you. The cafe has become a temple of rest, and you, its grateful pilgrim. Eventually, you feel your body soften entirely, each muscle releasing its hold on the day's tensions. Your shoulders drop, carrying nothing but the weight of the soft wool that covers them. Your hands rest open, palms up, ready to receive whatever gifts the night might offer. Your breath barely stirs the air around you, so gentle that it becomes part of the cafe's own breathing. Even your thoughts have taken on the tone of the rain. Slow, fluid, distant. They no longer grab for your attention or demand to be followed. Instead, they drift like clouds across the sky of your awareness, beautiful and temporary, requiring nothing but gentle acknowledgement. You do not sleep, but you are somewhere just as quiet, just as restorative. You have found the place where consciousness meets the void, where individual awareness dissolves into the larger awareness that connects all things. It is a place of perfect rest, requiring no effort to maintain, no vigilance to protect. The cafe breathes with you, its walls thick with memory and scent and comfort. Every surface holds the accumulated peace of countless quiet evenings. Every shadow cradles the dreams of visitors who have found respite here. The building itself has become a keeper of tranquility, a guardian of the sacred art of simply being present. And the night, ever generous, continues to unfold. It offers its gifts without expectation of return, the gentle music of the rain, the soft glow of lanterns, the patient company of shadows and light. Each moment is a gift freely given, a blessing that asks only to be received with an open heart. You remain still, a quiet figure by a rain-blurred window in ancient Kyoto. The last guest, but not alone. The final candle still flickers beside you, its flame steady and sure, a small lighthouse in the gentle darkness. You are held in a place that expects nothing, wants nothing beyond your presence. This is enough. This is everything. Only presence, only peace, only the eternal now that holds all moments within its embrace. The rain continues, a gentle benediction falling on the city's ancient stones. The jazz flows through it like ivy over old stone, each note a prayer, each phrase a heartbeat of the earth itself. The candle beside you flutters as a slight breeze finds its way through the cafe, then steadies, its flame growing stronger rather than weaker. The window pane grows cooler against your forehead, and you draw your knees up slightly, letting your shawl form a cocoon around your body. The position feels natural, like returning to some primordial posture of comfort and safety. Your breath makes small clouds on the glass, temporary mandalas that appear and disappear with each exhalation, beautiful and ephemeral as the moment itself. The cafe continues to cradle you in its rhythm, each element working in harmony to create this perfect moment of rest. The music, the light, the coziness, the gentle sounds of preparation and care, all of it combining to create something larger than the sum of its parts. A haven that exists not just in physical space, but in the realm of the spirit. Your eyes close once more, and immediately the world behind your lids becomes rich and alive. Colors bloom in the darkness, the warm amber of candlelight, the cool silver of rain, the deep blue of night sky. They pulse gently with your heartbeat, creating a private light show that dances in perfect synchronization with the steady jazz that continues to flow through the room. A single candle flickers lower than the rest, its flame drawing closer to the pool of wax at its base. But rather than seeming to struggle or fail, it appears to be gathering itself for one final moment of brilliant illumination. The flame grows slightly brighter, slightly steadier, as if all the light it has given throughout the evening is being concentrated into this last offerings. The music remains constant and soothing, not ending, but simply continuing its gentle presence. It becomes the sound of breath itself, the gentle rhythm of existence, the heartbeat of the cosmos made audible in the space between moments. And the sound of rain becomes your only guide, leading you deeper into the mystery of this perfect moment. And slowly, gently, you fall into the kind of rest that holds no weight, no dreams, just endless hush. It is not sleep in the ordinary sense, but something more fundamental, a return to the source of all rest, the place where consciousness meets the infinite silence from which all things arise and to which all things return. The café does not vanish. It simply fades to the edges of your awareness, like the memory of a dream that you know was beautiful, even though you cannot recall the details. It becomes part of you, and you become part of it in the eternal exchange between consciousness and the world that gives consciousness meaning. Here, in this perfect rest, all questions find their answer. Here, in this gentle darkness, all seeking comes to completion. Here, in this moment that contains all moments, you have found what you were always looking for without knowing you were looking. The peace that is your deepest nature, the love that is your truest identity, the light that is your eternal essence. As you let go of even the last soft thought, there is no sense of loss, only of arriving. You have come home to yourself, to the place where you have always been whole, always at peace, always held by the infinite love that underlies all existence. The night holds you in this recognition as it has always held you, as it will always hold you in the endless embrace of being itself. Sleep well. Good night.